Good morning, YouTube. It's morning here in sunny Florida. Actually, a little cloudy today. But today we're working on a 12 GMC Acadia. I'm sure it's close to the Traverse. These are a little different vehicles. GMC seems to be a little more upscale than the Traverse in certain features. But I actually watched a couple of videos on this, but I think a couple missed on this right here, so I'm gonna go over taking off the front clip or bumper cover into the grill, and I'm also gonna take the headlights off here in a minute. Why? Because I'm working on replacing the AC condenser and the compressor to restore the air conditioning on this vehicle. The air conditioning doesn't work. So I did a little testing, and that's what we're going to do. So I want to make some notes. I'm going to show you some things. Some other videos will show you some other things. You'll probably watch 2 or 3 like I do. But I wanted to mention a couple of things that aren't mentioned maybe in the other videos that I watched. So nothing against those guys, because I've actually taken front clips off on several cars. But, you know, you always want to be sure. And that's what YouTube's all about. So, yeah, when you start this job, I'm going to flip. This is the car that we're working on. I'll back it up a little bit. So this is the GMC. And like I said, it's kind of like the Traverse and the ENCLAVE. But, you know, first thing is, very simple. You got to unbolt it from the brace here. And that's the first thing you do. Next thing you got to do, what you're going to see, is you got to unbolt it here from the fender liner and the fender, and you got to take this trim piece off right here. This trim piece just pulls. Once you take it off, it'll pull it right back. And then there's a little 7mm up in this area here. There's going to be a 7mm bolt that needs to come off. You'll take that off. Everything's going to be loose here, and then you can pop the assembly off, but that's not the end of the story. So if you got a spoiler down here like I do, and even if you don't, there's a couple of bolts down here that need to be taken off. There's 2 on this one that come off. This car, you know, we don't know. This car was a repo or a bank owned, and so who knows how many hands were in there. It's pretty dirty. I've done a lot of work to it already, but and then if you have fog lamps, which this one does, you gotta go and reach in here, and you gotta take the wire from the fog lamp off, which these weren't even attached. There's no fog lamps in it. Actually, there might be, but they were unattached. Anyway, we're gonna put new ones in. It doesn't matter. And then the 2 bolts I really want to talk about today, which I'm going to get to now. These bolts, you could probably skin. I'm going to open this up. There's a bolt right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right underneath the headlight corner. And this one here. Now, on the other videos, I never saw this, and this is why I want to mention these 2 bolts right there. There's another one this side. You could probably put a there with a swivel, but I'm taking the headlamps off. I'm going to replace the headlight bulbs anyway. There's only like 3 bolts that take off the headlamps. 1, 2, and while you got this off, number 3 on here is actually down here. You can see that, but let me see if I can get a better shot of it. It's actually right there. So once you got this off, man, you can take your headlights out. So I'm going to take these out. Then we're going to get to this bolt. We'll be able to pull off this bumper cover, grill, assembly to take the condenser off. And we'll do some more video later about the condenser, if anything strange there. But right now we're working on this, and I think it needs to be said. Obviously, you don't want to pull or rip this thing, because these things will rip. I've ripped one before. You try to jerk this thing around, it'll rip like a piece of paper. So you got to be cautious when you pull it. Be very gentle on the car. You know, I find working on cars, you got to be gentle. There's a time to get strong with it. Maybe you have a hard chassis bolt or a shock bolt, but most of the time you really got to work gentle on the car. You know, kid gloves, if you will, because Things break on these cars so easy. The plastic gets brittle and dry, the bolts strip. You just don't want to have that kind of hassle. And I'm also going to do a video about removing the compressor, because I'm going to do some special things down there. I haven't got there yet, but this is the condenser first. I'm going to pull it out and leave it out, and then I'm going to get to the compressor, because these cars, everything I've had to work on in this GMC, I have the Dodge Journey, you may have seen, well, there's the Journey over there. The Journey was much better to work on than the GMC. The GMC, you got to take off everything to get there. The Dodge was a pleasure to work on compared to the GMC. And I actually bought these cars at the same time. I bought two, and I decided to keep the Dodge, and this one's going bye-bye. And probably the best decision between these two cars based on what I'm working on now, this 3.6. It's a good engine. It runs really good. It's got 140 on it. A lot of people make bad noise about this motor, but this one here has been very good so far. So I'm gonna take the headlights out. We're gonna get to those bolts, and again, I'll catch you on the next video. Okay, bye-bye. So this is a continuation video on the 12 GMC. So in this video, we were talking about taking out the headlights. So this is what I'm talking about on this car. So this car, again, everything is over bolted, in the way. 10 things have to come off before you get to one. So here's a perfect example on these headlights. I thought it'd be 1, 2, 3 bolts on this out, but that's not the case. You have to take off the bumper cover to remove the headlight, okay? So it's even like that, I think, when you have to remove and change the bulbs, because there's a brace in the way down here. So let me turn the camera around. So you got to remove these 2 bolts at the top. Then there's a third one down here underneath the bumper cover down there. But then you got 2 more, which you have to remove the bumper cover to get to, which are down here. You got this one here where I removed it. And then you got another one right there on that little pad right there. So poor soul that has to change his headlight bulbs, you're in for a workout. You got to remove everything to get to the bulbs. Now up here, you try to do it from here, man. You got this, you got this brace in the way right here. This brace here doesn't play. I mean, it's just, everything's in the way on this car. So again, working on the car is different than selling the car, which is different from driving the car. When you have to work on a vehicle like this, you got to use a lot of patience. I have an Expedition out there. I changed the headlight bulb in like 2 minutes. 2, 3 bolts, the thing was out. Snapped back in and you were done. This thing here, gee whiz, I don't know where they designed this car. China, I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, I just want to tell you that. So this headlight will come out, and the next one's going to come out. And then we'll get to those 2 bolts we talked about, and then we'll pull the bumper cover off. Anyway, have a great day.